Hello, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman. I want to show that there's actually a discipline or an awareness that you want to maintain while you're soldering your zinc to your edge of your stained glass panel. And I've done this before, lots of times. What I'm doing is I like to keep my edge that I'm going to attach my zinc to a little bit over my board, so that I can allow for what you're seeing, this wobble. I want to make sure that my piece is not, I'm over exaggerating, but it's really turned. I want to make sure it's flat and level. And by putting it over the edge of my piece, I'm allowed to do, I can make that happen. What you do not want to do, well, because you see these solder balls that I use in previous things, so let's just do it. I'm going to grab it and lay on my zinc for a moment. Don't worry if it goes down. I lay on my zinc for a moment so that I really give it a heat. It's going underneath now. It just went underneath. Now I have the opportunity to come back with my solder. It's really created a strong bond. And I don't have enough flux back here because I cleaned this panel for some photography purposes. So I have no flux on my panel other than what I just put on. You want a good strong bond of your zinc to your edge. Really futzing here. Okay, let's go back up to this. I've got 3 of them going on. Let's go up to this area here. Let's do this again. Allows me to twist my edge by having it slightly over. Now I've maintained flat. I'm going to take that solder ball and lay on my zinc for a moment, not on the stained glass. I don't have enough flux on there, so let me find my brush so that I can feather it in my effects. My solder, there you go. Okay, I'm going to do it here, grab it, and bring it up on your zinc. Because what you want to do is underneath this zinc, you want it to get a good bond going on. Very good bond. I've seen what's called a cold bond, where people are barely coming over to the edge and letting go. And you don't want to do that, because this zinc could, if you got a very weak weld, it goes without saying, your weld can break on you. It won't break your window, but your zinc is going to loosen itself up in years from now. And by creating this solder going underneath the zinc, I'm compensating for that. So I take this solder ball, bring it up to the top. Did you see how the zinc moved into my stained glass piece? You might not have caught that. Okay. This solder ball is touching the edge of my zinc. When I touch it, watch the zinc move in. Slightly moved in. And that little slightly could make all the difference in the world later when your piece has to fit. Here we go again. This fits really tight down here. Let's move my camera down. I got it on close-up, so sorry folks. Okay, here's the solder ball. It's touching my zinc. So by pressing my thumb, I'm not being able to press it in any farther than the solder ball. But I can assure you that when I hit that solder ball, the zinc is going to push in because I want to keep pressure on it. I'm holding my finger up, ready, set. Here's the solder ball. Boom, it just moved in slightly. I'm going to jump up to this one. You can see it slightly move in. There we go. That's all it takes. But by creating that awareness, you're going to alleviate some problems in the future that you're really going to appreciate about this. You're taking care of it in advance because you're seeing it ahead of itself. You're compensating for any problem that may arise. Okay, I have some foil sticking out here. It's my opportunity to see that right then and there and trim it off with my X-Acto knife. Therefore, now I'm not concerned about these bumps because in the next video I'm going to sand them down in such a way you may not have seen anything quite like it. I'm hoping many of these things you see are not quite what you thought or were taught. Who cares? My belief is let's start it now. Who cares? And let's make it work for you. So this solder ball, there we go. Hardly moved. I got a nice bond going on underneath. My iron is very hot. I do not use a rheostat, so often I have to come back and create another line or add some more flux because it's very hot. I'm coming down the end of my zinc. We can catch 2 here on this one. And this is a perfect example that it can't go in any farther, yet it allows me here. So what I want to do is I want to do this one before I do this one. So here again, I'm making sure that it's, here we go. Watch the zinc move under my thumb towards the stained glass. You see that? That was dramatic. Lay on it up here. It's going to get a good bond underneath. And that's perfect. Let's go back to this one. Perfect. Got a good bond going on underneath there. Okay, it's a sloppy weld. Come back, flux it. Dap it in. Just dap it. Tap it or dap it, whatever. You get the impression. There. Nice bond. Good strong weld. If my window was hung by my zinc lines, I can live with the idea of knowing. Here's a really dramatic, here's a big one that's stopping me from pushing my zinc in. Same thing, same rule applies. Moved in dramatically. Perfect. I'm going to come over here to the left side. It's not in screen. Okay, now we got a big one over here. This is a problem. Easily be taken care of. Again, my zinc can't go in any farther. Grab the there. There. Very strong bond. Very strong. And if my spent too much time, you get to see it. It'll drop right through. Sometimes I do this intentionally. People think I did that for a reason. There's a wide solder line to drop it through to actually show you. Not a problem. Come back, give it a second to freeze, in other words to solidify, put some more flux on it, and you're good to go. This one is being a little resistant, so there you go. Very good. It's cooperating all the way. Hey, I hope that gives you an idea of how to solder flux or zinc to your panel. And I only use paste flux. Overwhelmingly, for that it works better for me than liquid. And I know and I understand the liquid is very good for the lead people. And since I don't do lead, I can't argue for any part of the lead process on saying that the process now only wants liquid. I don't know that enough to make any sort of point defending the lead movement. But I would think that the lead people still use the liquid flux. There again, you'd have to talk to a person who excels in lead to know if that's true anymore. Maybe some of them are using paste. I don't know, so I cannot defend them. I'm talking in the future in case somebody wants to contact me about lead. I'm trying to cover that so I don't have to answer that in a phone call. So thank you very much for watching my video as always. This right here, you see those little lines? That's called a cold weld, and there's several reasons. Let's go back and fix that because I'm very picky about my soldering. I like it perfect. It's contaminated. And what I really need to do is clean it off with an alcohol. There we go. We got a good one. Clean it off with an alcohol if nothing else works, and then start over. Or mineral spirits. Mineral spirits works excellent. If you're having problem with your solder flowing, clean your window off with mineral spirits. Dry it off with a towel. Take care not to affect your foil. You have to do it very lightly. And you will be shocked at how well the solder will flow having washed it or rinsed it or applied a small layer of mineral spirits. It'll shock you and how cooperative your solder will be. I can't tell you the chemical composition that makes it so, but I got an excellent weld there, so right here. Anyway, again, thank you for watching my videos, and as always, I'm very grateful for the nice comments and compliments, and look forward to doing more and hearing back from you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful